Yo, good day, good vibes, good people. I'm Jay Hollins.
This is Sean.
It's your man L.
Welcome to Fake Decent the podcast. What it do though, like?
Hey, bro, I really like how these microphones sound on the playback when we be watching the videos, because we really sound like a podcast now. All we need to do is start chewing food. We could be at, what's that, AMR, ASR,
AMSR.
AMSR?
My granddaughter finds that stuff on YouTube and it bothers the hell out of me.
These kids, man.
Oh my God. And she be content too. I was like, is she slow? Oh.
My ex used to like that, I think, and I'm pretty sure she's
I
slow.
like bubble wrap, but that's a different level.
No, that was something when we were kids. When you saw bubble wrap, that meant something. You had something. Like you had a
that's
toy.
The funny part. As kids, we didn't care about what was in the box. We wanted the box and the
and
bubble
the bubble wrap
and the bubble wrap.
Shit.
This is true.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's definitely the ASMR, whatever the hell it is. I don't like the letters no more. It is on a different level. Just listening to blocks and squishy things and cars back over stuff, and she can do it.
Why?
And she could do it. I have no idea.
It's you know what I look at that weird
I just
shit
hope
like.
it's not in subliminal.
No. What it is that it encourages me to let you know that anything can be profitable. Whatever your bullshit is,
It's a niche for everything.
it's
You
a
can sell
niche
it.
for that
You
shit.
can
Like
sell it.
people literally are making money eating food and whispering. Like,
Oh my God, because that lady with the seafood used to get on my nerves, and people would just
so was the little
watch her.
Asian chick?
No, the black lady.
Oh yeah, the black one. Oh yeah.
And did y'all notice we watched her gain weight as this shit was going on? She didn't start out that big.
See, I was watching the old videos.
From her chin and shit, baby.
Sauce getting fat out here.
Buttercup fucked it up. Okay? I'm telling you.
Oh man.
But yes.
So
But life is good, y'all.
How was y'all week?
Good,
Can't
man.
complain. Definitely profitable.
Okay. I like it.
That's always good. That's a great
Yeah.
week. When you can say profitable, that is a
Profitable.
great fucking week,
Yeah,
man.
coins
See-
drop. So
Coins drop.
definitely a good
That's a
thing.
t-shirt. Coins
Let
drop.
the dollar circulate.
Hey, let it circulate, let it circulate.
Make it rain, trick, make it. Stop.
see, we was
See.
going gangster. She went straight to the ratchet
To
shit.
the full ratchet.
She went straight to the ratchet shit.
Shout out to Katrina Lynn. We could sing that all day. That's my boo.
Hilarious.
Trina, what up? What up?
I
I
know.
actually called her to check on her and shit. I told her we supposed to chop it up. Well, I ain't heard from her in a couple weeks. I had to check on her,
Oh yeah.
make sure she was good and shit. Trina, what up though? Anyway, man.
My poolicious.
Yo, killing me
Poolicious.
with
I
that
like
shit.
it. You just got. Oh, you're full up today. These are quotables. Like it's like bars.
I've been calling her poolicious for years.
Yeah, this
She-
is the thing.
She called me Dolly. And it's like every time we say it, it's like we fall in love again. But like, foolish, she's like Dolly. It's
I love
sickening.
that.
It's sickening as
It-
hell,
it
baby.
is.
I love
it
it.
is
It
so
definitely
gay,
is.
but that's my baby. I love it. To death. I love it to death. I do.
Oh.
She's like,
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny as shit.
Jay has witnessed it.
I'd be like, I hate y'all so much, dog.
I
Like,
know, but
it's
he
just-
loves to see us
Foolicious.
love on each other. 'Cause
Yeah.
Hey,
man,
it's rare you find women that greet each other like that.
like
and
that,
they mean
like
it.
you know,
And they
because
mean it.
you know, I always say women don't like each other for real, but like y'all motherfuckers really fuck with each other, and I love that about y'all and shit.
Man, the
You know,
long way.
That's dope.
so anyway, let's get into the shit.
Where do we start, bro?
Oh, the
We
shit.
gonna start with our folk, meaning black folk, African American folk,
Right.
the ADOS shit that I hate. Like I hate that ADOS shit, but that's a whole.
What the
nother
fuck is
fucking-
ADOT?
ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. Like, bitch, I'm so much more than that.
Where did
I don't
that
want
come
that
from?
shit. That's what they be talking about, the ADOS shit. I'm like, nah, man, don't group me in that shit, dog. Like, and this shit's
Motherfuckers
weird.
will do
Descendants of slaves.
anything.
That shit's weird, yo. That
Niggas
shit's
will do
weird.
anything to have an acronym.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
Acronyms do not make your ass important.
I don't like it.
Boy,
That
I'm
acronym
descendant of
ain't gonna
like.
get your ass reparations.
Nope.
Why do you want to be reminded?
Why can't I
on
just
a-
be like
on a constant that you are the
descendant of
a
Shaka
slave?
Zulu or
Why
something?
can't I be the? What you mean? You don't know I'm the
Guess
descendant
what?
of Mansa
Your
Musa?
ass is still a
Right.
slave now.
Yeah, goofball.
Like,
I hate
yeah,
that
I don't.
silly
I
shit.
like, dude, I don't like it. But anyway, whatever. I'm just over. I know this for me, because I'm a common sense guy. No, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. But like, there's like this blind allegiance to the Democratic Party for black folks, and I don't like it.
So here's
I
what
don't like-
happened.
I don't like it.
I know how I was raised. Republicans is white people. They trying to kill us. The Democrats got niggas in it, and so we get something. We don't know what, but we get something.
But they trying to kill you too, though.
It's just the
and
same
that's what we
thing.
found out.
See, here's the thing. Just like you said, it's been embedded in us from way back.
Mm-hmm.
They associate the Republicans with the Confederate flag.
All day.
That's what they
But that
associated
shit
with.
was
But
a
see,
flip, though.
It actually was a flip because here's the thing. What
'Cause
they realized is that as long as they act like they are our friends, we going to keep turning the other cheek, accepting apologies, reading this good book that they gave us, and bowing to our masters. All they did was flip it. Okay, they resist us, or they don't succumb as easily with us being Republicans. So we going to play Democrat. They come over and do the same shit. I mean, it's just when you, it's just like masking medicine for a child.
Yeah. Listen.
As long as you get it in there, you good.
There's one song that I played for Liz this morning. I don't know if, Ryan, you remember Paris, right? The Black Panther hip hop, The Devil Made Me Do It. That's my theme song. And the Feds got on his ass for that one record. Dude fell back, started producing, and put out The Conscious Daughters. But when that motherfucker was like, listen, when that nigga said, and give us fake gods, and give us fake gods at odds with Allah, said, man, love thy enemy and all that hoopla. You know what I mean? He was like, I felt that shit. What he said, never let someone whoop on you that don't belong to the section from you. He was talking about the police. Can't be in need for the leads of pig lead unless you don't give a fuck to be free. Keep stomping on or get stomped in. Attitude, but I ain't from Compton. You know, he was militant as hell. My 15-year-old militant ass was like, fuck with Buddy.
Yeah, feel free to take a violation from your fellow GD, but not from the government.
Right.
Hey,
listen,
right. I never heard that record before.
I'm gonna play it for you after we get off the air. I'm gonna play it for you because it's like that shit how you want to go. Man, I'll slap the shit out of you when you go outside and make you feel like that.
It's interesting. Like so all these years, what is it? 60 years. Probably longer than that.
About 65 now.
Yeah, so 65 years, and Black folks have just been blindly following and rocking with Democrats.
They gave you the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act or whatever, right, and all that shit, right? But my thing is, like I said, well, it was really musical chairs. When Lyndon B. Johnson did all that shit, all the Democrats got mad at him and ran over to the Republican Party. So actually, the Republicans that you're seeing now, the old Republicans are the old Dixiecrats. You know what I mean? So
the old what?
The Dixiecrats.
Yeah, Dixiecrats.
So you got to remember that the Republican Party was the party of fucking abolition. Democrats didn't want slavery to end. So, and here's the coup right here that happened, right? The coup was this, like, because a lot of motherfuckers was like, no, just get them niggas they shit, let them survive or thrive. Let them thrive or die, survive or die. And Democrats was like, why the fuck would we do that when we can control it all? Shit, get these niggas free shit. They'll vote for us for the next 100 years. And he literally said that shit.
And it lasted.
And it lasted. Here we are 65 years later. Y'all motherfuckers, they want, listen, I don't vote based on party allegiances. I don't vote based on party lines. I vote based on what lines up with my needs, my wants, the needs and wants of my family, and my beliefs. That's what I vote based upon. So I may vote for a Republican here. I may vote for a Democrat here. I may vote for an independent or a third party here. It depends on. It's like, that vote don't count. It's my vote. I can do what the fuck I want to do with my vote.
Because I know people that literally go onto the polls and just go with all Democrats just because they Democrats, don't know a damn thing about them. Just feel like the Democratic Party is in their best interest. And as you said, they give us a little something and it only fucks us over later. They mask themselves as friends and allies, and we go for it all the time and never question it. Nobody liked Trump. Now you got some of them that swear by him just because they got $1,200. It's going to take a little more than $1,200 to buy your girl. I'm sorry. I can take the $1,200 and spend it in good conscience. However, it does not buy me.
Well, actually,
and
it was a little bit. It was a little bit more than $1,200.
We know it was more than that.
He dropped the SBAs and the PPPs,
and there were increments, but there still has to be some type of level. You can't buy me. And that's
Right.
the thing. They give you a little something and it fucks you in the end. The little something that we got does not equate to what we should have in reparations. It doesn't equate to respect. It doesn't equate to less of our men being killed. It doesn't equate to the police, killing us. There will never be an even board.
Talk
There
your
won't.
shit, Sean.
But
Yeah.
you give somebody a little something and they feel like it. The same way they broke down the black family. They gave you Section 8, little subsidized housing, but guess what?
But you gotta
couldn't
get
have
rid
your
of him.
man in the house.
You gotta get rid
gotta
of him.
get rid of him. I've known women that have lived in the same household as their men and had them on child support. Why? So they can keep getting food stamps. If you look at what comes out of a man's paycheck, what they give you in child support plus what they give you in food stamps, they still ripping him. You could have got more or bettered your family by just staying in your unit. Fuck some
right.
food stamps.
Remember-
they take $500 out his check and give you $100 in food stamps and give you $200
Right.
of what they took.
Because once upon a time, motherfuckers got together and stayed down till they came up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everybody else did. But like the thing is, I was just watching this thing about how shocked they were, because the shit really was a social experiment, right? How
And
shocked.
I feel like all these
how
social experiments
shocked-
work.
Look, how shocked they were at how quickly our women got rid of the men to receive that. Like, instead of just grinding it out and coming up. And somewhere along the lines, that made a lot of motherfuckers feel empowered. Well, I'm doing this. Why can't you do it? You doing it because they handing it to you to do. Like, ain't
Right,
no
your
resources.
rent $25
like
a month.
like I said, I balled too if my rent was $27.
Yeah.
You know, I pay that shit up for the year right now.
I would ball if my rent was $200,
Man,
$400.
$400. If my rent was $800, I'd
I would
ball.
ball.
I'd ball.
Ball.
The fuck, like I would literally ball the fuck out. So my thing with that is really this, right? You show so much love to a motherfucker that has given you nothing but their ass to kiss. I keep telling y'all, and from the mouth of a fucking car-carrying Democrat, their strategy for the African American community is empathize, apologize, promise nothing. Because you don't have to give them anything and they will vote for you anyway.
Which
That is
equates
their
to,
strategy.
ooh, damn. Sorry to hear that. I'll holler at you later.
Right, basically.
Joe Biden, and Koala.
Well, y'all been butchered. Listen.
On purpose he do
What
it.
you want to say to Joe Biden right now? Hey, take me to dinner, baby.
Right.
Like,
hey, yo.
hey, look, man, they like literally the disrespect that Joe Biden showed the black community leaders, that right before he was voted in, he was just dancing and playing music for and talking about what he was gonna do. And the second they said, all right, so let's get this done, he's like, man, look, man, I ain't got it. What you talking about, baby?
And now, right.
What money?
Hey, what money, baby? You dig?
You
so,
dig.
So I'm like, I'm really like, what perplexes me is a motherfucker just asked him, why haven't you done anything for the African American community? 2
What'd he
weeks
say?
ago. Oh, I haven't sat down and looked them in the face. A lie. You had a whole fucking, whole motherfucking Zoom meeting with these people and told them, what money, baby? I ain't got it. What you mean?
Disrespectful. Like,
Hey,
so
that motherfucker,
so
hey, motherfucker,
you really
hey,
thought I was
hey.
gonna commit to you after I dropped all this dick
But see,
off?
this goes to, right.
After you did what?
After I dropped all this
Dropping
dick
dick
off, you want me to be what? You want me to marry you?
I'm dropping
Bitches
dick
hoes
off.
out here.
Drop it all.
And they going.
Hey, that nigga said his hoes out here. What you mean? You want me to
mean his
get
hoes? You gotta
married?
get
Nigga,
married.
it's summertime.
It's summertime. It's just hoes
Right.
out
Got
here.
you in the fall when I need you to reelect me.
Right. Nah, but
Man.
on some real shit, man. Like, it's like, when does it stop? When do you motherfucker, like, I keep telling people, I said, listen, and I told motherfuckers, I told all my white friends, my Latino friends, my black friends, I said, Trump is a white people problem. He is not a black people problem. Because anytime I ask, what has he done directly to you? Well, I said, listen, for the first time in my 46, damn near 47 years of life, right?
Mhm.
White people and every non-black person in this country knew what it was like to be a nigger. Not nigga, not
Right.
N-I-G-G-A.
Hard ER.
Nigger,
ER.
hard ER.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what it was like.
Got the nigger
And they
treatment.
didn't like it. And they turned to black folks like, please help us get away from feeling like y'all. We don't like it. Nigga, we been here for 400 plus years and motherfucking 244 years of bondage, another fucking 100 years of Jim Crow, and we still dealing with the shit in post-racial America, right? Quote
Right.
unquote.
Right.
So come on in. I was like, no, come on in. Take your shoes off.
Get
Sit a
comfortable.
spell.
Mm-hmm. Get
Have some
comfortable. in it.
coffee. Yo, you drink whiskey? Here you go.
We was looking
Come
at
on,
y'all
sit
ass
down.
just like this.
Yep.
How's it feel? You like it?
Well, there's
You don't
a
like it, do you?
See that shit?
deal, yeah. Didn't they ask with the D'Angelo? Bam, right.
Hey, bitch.
How does it feel?
Yeah, how's it feel?
This is why I didn't have no sympathy. People was like, God damn, you cold. I didn't have no sympathy for it at all, right?
Mm.
Because I felt like Sonia Sanchez. Welcome to niggerdom. Take your shoes off. Stay a while. Sit a spell and enjoy some coffee. You know what I
Man,
mean?
Dave
Like,
Chappelle said, come get these nigga lessons.
I'm
Right.
telling you.
Because Trump was
went-
handing them out.
Yeah, Trump went down in the history of niggerdom.
Yeah,
He did.
Trump
Did
was
that.
Trump was handing nigga lessons to everybody.
And then got away scot-free. They still ain't got that. They was trying to lock him up.
I'm
He's
telling you, my favorite word of his, China.
Why do you keep calling this the China virus? Because it's from China. I said, man, this man has nary a fuck to give about anything.
I used to always laugh, be like, so baby, how many lines you think he had before this
Because
presidential
you see, he was
address?
always up there like fucking with his nose.
I thought something was wrong with him, like he was
No.
terminally ill.
Yeah.
Like he knew
He
he was
got a
going to die,
love
so he
affair
was
with
going out with a
that girl.
bang.
Terminally an asshole. Period.
I
He,
thought-
he was
I-
born
listen,
one, he lived
I've
one, he gonna die an
never
asshole. There's
met
gonna be some
a
asshole
rich
shit.
white man that didn't do cocaine.
Really?
And yes, I'm telling on some of my friends.
It's in the
right now.
manual.
Okay, gotcha.
I've
It's in the
never
manual.
met
It's in the
a
handbook.
rich. It's in the rich white
in the
man
bylaws.
handbook that you have to do lines.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Lines,
I've never.
as in more than one.
Yeah, I've never.
More than
I've
once a day.
never met a rich white man that didn't fuck with girl.
So watch this. I always tell people, because they be like, boy, you famous now. I be like, no, I'm still fake famous because niggas is offering me weed. When they start offering me cocaine, that's when I know
That's
I
what-
made it for
you
real.
goddamn right. When
Absolutely.
when the motherfucker was like, hey, you ski? That's when you know you made it. You know? what
Wait,
I mean?
okay.
Get you some of that
I made
York
it-
peppermint patty.
I made it a long time ago. I was at it was a club that was like off a lake and like hosted. And it's gone now. Anyway, long story short, I was hanging out
It's in my head. So
Hang-
go ahead.
hanging out with the owner, Indian Cat, who owned Bevy.
Mhm.
We leave from Bevy because every time we seen bro, he was like, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
he's like, mother try to kill you with love and liquor. That's their love. So
Yeah.
we leave from there.
Come
go
on, buddy, party
Right.
with me.
party. You
No,
know what I'm
no,
saying? Like
fam,
I ain't
no.
never spent $1 in Bevy.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Right.
So we leave from Bevy and go to this other spot. Susu's Dash. At the time, Susu had Grey Goose. She had the Grey Goose
Mhm.
account. So Susu says, walking to the, I love you. And so it's more liquor. Well, you know what I'm saying? Just like I'm swimming at this point. I'm Kendrick Lamar. Wake up, fall down,
Drink,
faded,
drink.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fucked up. So I'm hanging out, and Sammy Homie looks like a samurai or whatever. Long ass hair, but he's like this far off the ground. Little guy, hair almost touched the ground. He's like, hey, you want to go up? I was like, yeah, let's go up. Because I'm thinking it's another level to the club.
No, he meant
Not upstairs.
all the way up.
All the way up. Listen, man. So watch
telling you.
this. I'm like, all right, cool. I said, Sammy, hey, your boy cool? He's like, yeah. You going up here? I said, he said we going up. He said, okay, go up. Sammy know what he's talking about.
You ain't got
I
no
don't
idea.
have no clue what the fuck up means. So I'm walking with bro. We go down. I said, this is the most exclusive club ever. You got to go down to go up, right?
This nigga slow.
You read my mind.
Hey, listen.
Nigga slow.
We're walking. I said, oh, we got to go down to the elevators and then go up, right? This is what I'm trying to do math in my head, man.
Your math ain't mathing
My
at all,
math
bro.
was
I
not
need you to
mathing.
keep doing your math on your fingers.
My math was not mathing at all. We get down, we get ready to go. I said, wait a minute. So these not elevators, it's the bathroom. So homie say,
This motherfucking his arithmetic. Go ahead.
right. Now I'm realizing that somewhere along the lines, I did a square root when I was just supposed to be adding. So the nigga turned around and he shakes my hand. He's like, yeah, we're going to go up. Puts a little baggie of Coke in my hand, right? At which point I turned to T.I. Y'all remember that episode of T.I. when they was pranking him? He put bullets in the hand. He's like, oh, please get these bullets out my hand. I don't know where these came from. Hey, man, true story. African ball player from the Bulls, Luol Deng.
Yeah.
Luol Deng's brother was hanging out with us. He saw the play happening. So he came running and caught up with us at the bathroom and was like, hey, no, bro, go up how I go up with the weed. We go outside and go up. We'll meet you back at the bar. So homie was like, oh, okay, cool. More for him, right? You know what I'm saying? He go to the bathroom. I slide outside with Luol Deng's brother like, hey, bro. He said, yeah, I knew you. He said, I peeped you didn't know
had
what.
No idea.
You had no idea. Like, you ain't hung out with really rich motherfuckers before.
You ain't, or just regular white people.
Which I don't do that.
Which I know. Like,
yeah.
Cause I'm gonna tell you at a undisclosed newscaster that we all know very well,
Right.
from an undisclosed station
Of
in an
course.
undisclosed place in Lake County.
Uh-huh.
We was having a discussion and she just whipped that shit out while we was talking. Like, you ski? No, little mama, you go ahead. I'm good. And we talking and I'm like, wow.
Real regular.
This is just real regular. Like, you know,
Real
like you
regular.
know how we pull out the weed, that's how they pull out the coke.
Yeah. And I
So-
don't even smoke weed like that, but I smoked with Luol Deng, bro, that night.
I
But,
know you did because you had a
I was
close
like,
call,
look,
motherfucker.
This was
but I say that to say that, yeah, Trump was definitely fucking with girls.
Ain't no sense.
Mm.
in-
Bringing it back full circle, Trump was definitely fucking with girl. But what I'm saying is like, listen, hey, black people, it's okay not to fix white folks' problems. I know Dave Chappelle was like, well, they're American problems. No, those are white folks' problems. That's what me and Dave disconnect. Those are white folks' problems.
Let 'em have 'em.
We let them have them. They created that shit because they felt like, oh, Obama divided the country. How? He ain't do nothing but be black and become president. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And that
And
was
he was
the
even-
problem
he was-
right there. They
he
ain't
was
want his
light
black ass.
skinned.
And he didn't
No.
even do shit. And
Right,
he
he
had for y'all.
He was soft black. He wasn't even
Yeah.
full on.
It wasn't like we gave
It's not
y'all
like we
Wesley
gave
Snipes,
Jay.
nigga. You got Chico. You got Chico the Bar.
When we got Jay right here.
Oh yeah, we do have Jay.
I'm saying now, if Jay was president, Lord,
You know how that shit was gonna go like said like, oh, you can't ask me in front of my wife, dog. Hold my dog. When said did we was like
In front of my wife,
did,
dog.
Obama didn't have none of
man,
that in
and
him.
L, me and you would have job. We'll be the joint chiefs of bullshit.
Hey,
Or
listen,
chiefs
man.
of staff, chiefs. Of
We'll walk in
bullshit.
the office every day like they didn't let the GDs in the door.
Hey,
Every day. I know the people would be like, why did we let them in the door?
Nah, but on some real shit, dude was like black people light. You know what I mean? So
really
like,
was.
he was like sugar-free black. You know what I mean? So
Sugar free.
yeah,
He was
Yeah.
decaffeinated.
he was decaffeinated.
He was the caffeinated.
You know, so my thing is like, it wasn't like, you know, they could ask him something and he was intellectual with it. You know, you ask one of us the wrong question, we coming off the podium. Hey, dog, come here, let me talk to you.
I can
You know
see.
what
I can see
I mean?
Jay
So,
in the whole press conference. Fuck you mean?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely on that.
and that's how, like, look, Erica Clark, one of your fellow comedians, is
Love
always
Erica.
like, Jay, don't talk to me till you go into politics. I'm like, Erica, I get it, but you have to understand, I'm not built to not swing on motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? She'd be like, no, Jay, you missing your calling. Erica, I love you, and I'm glad you think of me
Jay
in
in
that
politics
manner.
would be the equivalent of head of state when Bernie Mac and Chris
Yeah.
Rock was just walking through the motherfucking train station slapping motherfuckers.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not cut out for it because I can't, if a motherfucker tell me, well, you got to say this, but that's not what's happening. I'm not saying that shit. So I'm not built for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I say
they'll
this,
have to kill you 2 days into the campaign.
right? Yeah, they
Right,
off
this
me.
nigga ain't gonna act right.
No, they'd off me, or either destroy me. You know, either
They be-
way.
The
So-
first time they give you the kid, they be like, hey, listen, so Area 54 is real. Get the fuck out of here. I knew that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I can't even tell. Shit. Hey, it's
Trump
definitely-
already told it. They ain't kill him. So again, man, like I said, we
He's
gotta
blessing
stop.
everybody with cocaine. That's probably what it was.
We got, and he told people the aliens was
Coke
real.
Bay.
He was like, look, and nobody even cared. He was fucking up so bad to motherfuckers. He was like, yeah, Area 51's real and aliens exist. They was like, oh, okay. And
Right.
that's
what we thought. We figured that. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, like, dog, like this blind allegiance has done nothing for you. They won't commit shit to you. Like I
You're
said,
not gonna get no
like
ring.
I said in the previous episode,
all dick.
listen,
Shaft.
the first shit was drafted in motherfucking the first anti-lynching bill was drafted in motherfucking no, it was drafted in 1918.
1918.
And as of 2022, there has been no anti-lynching bill. There's been no George Floyd bill. But hey,
Longest fucking
but
draft
hey,
ever.
it was like,
If you was turning that
Right.
paper in, you'd be fucked by now.
right. You know what I'm saying? But hey, like 15 Asian people got beat up, and then they got an anti-Asian hate
It
bill.
was like
Good for
9.
them.
It wasn't even 15.
Right.
Was it 15?
Nah, I don't know. It
I
was
think it was
somewhere
9.
between
It was
9
Might
and
not
15.
even been
It
that
was
much.
real.
And all
It
of a
was real
sudden-
light, and not
Bang.
and
But-
not to
I know it
downplay
wasn't over 3,000.
anybody's deaths, but
Nope.
it was real light. It was a real light number. I don't
Nobody
even think it
died.
cracked double
They just
digits.
got beat up.
No, they shot like 9 of them at a.
Oh, they shot 9 of them?
Yeah, because it was like somebody went crazy with, because I don't know, they got their happy ending mixed up.
You know what?
Yeah, that's what it was. No, they
What was that? You
They
right.
was at the massage
massage
parlors,
parlor.
and
So, yeah,
they
he
shot like 9 of them.
So my thing is, and I don't say that as a knock on anyone, but
No.
that shows you what PACs can do, political action committees, and people pooling their resources and paying lobbyists to get things passed. Y'all think y'all supposed to get shit passed just because of y'all emotions. And that was a perfect example of showing you the power of community resourcing, community pooling, and political action committees over non-for-profits.
And they accomplished
You know what I
all
mean?
of that without rioting and tearing up their own
There was no
communities.
marches.
They ain't marched
they
for
didn't
shit.
march. They just stood on they shit.
And
There's
that's
a lot
the
to
power
be said
of,
for
of
10
that.
toes down.
Yeah. And that's why I always bring that up, not to shit on Asian people, but to show you them as an example, like, hey, they got their shit passed. It wasn't even a year that went by. And they got that shit done.
Yeah.
Y'all been doing shit based on feelings all this time and ain't nothing got done. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, blind allegiance to anyone is an exercise in futility. Is all
Right,
I'm
your
saying.
ass
And
about
it's
to
got to
start
change.
pop locking and pussy popping on the handstand.
Yeah. I need one of the Grind
Right.
King hoodies too. That are hard as hell. Like,
So
I'm gonna ride straight out west with that gold and black.
now comes time for L to go on his rant.
I want one too because I'm a girl and I think I'm entitled.
You
Thank
might
you.
as well.
Thank you. I
Right.
appreciate the enabling.
We gonna get to that in a minute.
I try not to take it too far. I try to,
Right.
I don't give you no calls that you came back within good reason.
Right.
Right. So
Let me sit up straight for this.
let L go on his rant about Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson.
You
L,
know,
the floor is yours, brother.
Thoughts of L.
let me just say this, man. I happened to look on the internet because I haven't watched it yet. And all down my timeline, every woman I knew had something to say about Jermaine Dupri ugly ass cheating on Janet Jackson. I'm talking about it was an hour's worth of just down my timeline. He cheated on Demita Joe Jackson. Okay, so I'm watching this. I'm watching it. And they talking about, he was ugly and, he realized that women wanted to fuck him because he was with Janet. So he took full advantage of that. And like the way y'all talking about Janet is like, Janet can do no wrong. And Janet is the finest woman on the planet. And, listen, man, I get it. Janet in the 80s and the 90s, even the early 2000s, beautiful woman. However, she did look just like her brother. They had to have had the same facial reconstruction surgery.
Boy, they finna light L ass up.
I'm just saying, like, I watched Planet of the
Wanted to
Apes
Put him out.
and I watched the Scream video. And I'm pretty sure these were the same schematics that they used.
Wait, I blinked and I think I missed something. Did you just say Planet of the Apes?
I did.
And
The
then
new
the
one.
Scream video?
Yeah.
As in a comparison?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they
Likeness?
used the same reconstructive facial surgery for the characters on Planet of the Apes.
I won't be
Doc,
touching
I
this
want
one.
this. I want this right here. Give me some of that Caesar.
Let me say this.
Not touching this
I
one.
saw a whole lot of y'all talking about Jermaine Dupri probably kicking himself in the butt.
No,
'cause
no.
His legs ain't long enough for that one, but go ahead.
Start there. But two, come on, man. Y'all got to cut it out. JD was in Atlanta, the home of bad stripper bitches.
Shake a Booty Club.
I'm talking about 4 or 5 generations. So to the point where Usher had to make a song and say, hey, I don't mind if you dance on the pole. It doesn't make you a hoe, because they were generations and generations of children raised by strippers
And stripper money.
and stripper money. How could you talk down on that? Janet Jackson, yes, she could dance. And let me just say this, because I'm going to go into full blasphemous mode.
Oh,
Y'all know
shut up.
Janet wasn't no singer. Let's just do it. Let's
Bro,
go right into it.
This is not even an argument.
It's not, but for
She was
us,
definitely an entertainer.
she was an
Mhm.
entertainer.
Absolutely.
But if you want to say Janet could sing, no. Janet and Ciara are parallel. They do a lot of high note whispering, breathy whispering, along with the song. The beats snap, and the choreography is crazy, and the videos are dope, and the sex appeal. Think about it, man. Like, and I'm not saying you gotta be a singer to be successful as an artist. You don't.
Not anymore.
No,
Never.
you just
Actually,
have to be entertaining.
you just got to be
I
entertaining.
mean, look at all these people that are making millions on TikTok just being entertaining. Nothing special. And I mean, I'm not knocking them at all, but
These
just
are not
being
knocks.
entertaining. So there's something to be said about that. You don't necessarily, you might not have what it takes in the forefront, but if you got a good nucleus around you, if you really got a good core, you got some diversions.
And while I'm throwing myself on the
And
proverbial
a sprinkle
sword,
of auto-tune.
nowadays a sprinkle of auto-tune. But while I'm throwing myself on the sword, y'all talking about JD kicking himself. I don't really think y'all understand the unhealed dynamics and the weirdo shit of the Jackson family, G. Like, there's way more to it than just I'm with Janet Jackson and she's like this superstar, blah, blah, blah. Jermaine was actually doing his thing as a kid.
Bro,
as
first of
well.
all, Shorty hit a whole husband for damn near 20 years.
Hit a husband. Let's start there.
First of all, that family hid a lot of things. Everybody in the Jackson family was trying to find their way out of it some way or another.
And Joe was
Janet
still
got
whooping everybody
married
ass.
and did all
Father
types
beat
of
us.
shit.
Shut up. He
to
beat y'all
even
ass
get
in the
out of there.
superstar.
Come on, he the first nigga to beat the black off a child.
Right.
Michael. Beat the black clean off Michael. And Mike came out all right. Like, come on, man. Like, this shit.
Beat his ass from a black boy into a white woman.
Listen, he turned that nigga into Brooke Shields, man. Let me tell you something.
What Cat Williams say? You got the white woman pork face.
I don't want to be here anymore.
All I'm saying is that y'all gotta let y'all acting like Jermaine Dupri. First of all, y'all know this nigga been an asshole since jump. JD has always been he's never ever portrayed himself as anything other than, hey fam, like, I'm getting to this money and it ain't a thing. Fuck y'all, I'm JD. This is how the nigga has always moved. He's been successful since he was 14 years old doing this. He's not changing.
Well, he definitely didn't need Janet.
He
That's the thing. But people sensationalize the Jackson family, and they are a great family. They accomplished a lot of things. They did what they did, but every family has its dynamic. And anybody that was dating one of them or that was included in that circle, nobody left that motherfucker unscathed.
Right.
It's not a healthy dynamic, you know.
Not at all.
So don't make it seem like Janet is sugar and spice and all that's nice,
And-
because she's been trying to get out of that shit since day one. She never wanted to do anything they wanted her to do, from fame down to anything else, but she
Yeah.
was made to. So when you come into a situation where you're with somebody that doesn't have their own identity, and even though she broke away from Joe and had different management, she was still being ran and programmed. So you come into something as a man to be with a woman that ain't even her own woman. still got strings being pulled by her
Damn, that's
parents and
strong.
everything else. That in itself is fucked up, and that creates a problem.
And do we believe Janet when she says, because they asked her straight up and down, do you have a secret child? And she said, instead of saying no, hell the fuck no, she says, come on, how could I keep a child from their father?
The same father
That's-
that
Well,
you-
hey, the
same-
whole
not the
DeBarge
answer.
family and came out and was like, yo, shorty lying.
Thank you. You
well,
are
they ain't
you
got
are the
shit to lose, and you know a dope ain't gonna tell the truth.
Man, every day,
especially
and
when they
twice
think they on their
when you
way out.
buying them, they fix.
Come
You
on.
know? That makes it
Exactly.
stop,
So I
shit.
mean, they never give definitive answers, and I mean, hey, they don't have to. It's their business. But if you're gonna come on
Thank
an
you.
expose, you need to expose yourself.
Janet Jackson is the real Monet. Zeke, that's not your auntie, that's your mama. Fuck it, Jesus Christ, Zeke. Listen, I
Rock-
don't believe.
Rock,
you
call me
feel
an
good? You
Uber.
got that off your chest now, bro?
Call me an Uber, Rock.
I'm not.
You was waiting to fire it off. I said we gotta let L get this off his chest because it's on his heart today. And
It is.
And y'all gotta understand, I'm not a Jermaine Dupri fan. Like I met the nigga a few times. He was only nice when I had my kid with me. Other than that, pure asshole. You know what I'm saying? His dad's always been a good dude. His dad has always been a good dude. Good person. Every time I talk to him, like real down to earth human being, rich as fuck, still cool. But I'm not speaking from a perspective of somebody who's a fan of the man. I'm just a man who is saying, if I'm rich as fuck, right? Even when I wasn't rich as fuck, if I'm rich as fuck, and I look and I say, Janet Jackson, that's dope. There's some bad bitches out here in Atlanta. Janet Jackson, that's dope. But there's some weird shit going on over here.
Bad bitches.
Bad bitches that I could just tell get the fuck on, or weird ass Janet Jackson that I gotta like put a face up for in public and still ride this shit out. You know what? I'm gonna let her catch me cheating a few times and tell her it's bad bitches out here. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, let me just go ahead and fully go in my full asshole form. That's what JD did. I'm not gonna say who this individual is, but he's a star from the crib. And he was dating another up-and-coming young lady who I knew. And she said, you know, we broke up because I caught him cheating on me. He was in my car and he was cheating on me.
oh, he was a wild nigga.
Oh, yeah, this nigga's a wild nigga. I tell you off camera.
Bet that.
So she said, you know, finally they had the conversation. It was like, I can't do this no more. Why I've been good to you. I've been taking care of you. I've been, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey man, I ain't never had bad bitches like me before. You gotta let me have my moment. This nigga said that shit. Like,
I mean, he was honest. I'm not gonna say. I mean, she still has the right to feel how she feel and move how she want to move. But
at least he
there's
was
something
honest.
to be said for honesty.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you can have that
Just
conversation.
tell the truth.
Yeah,
That's
because
the truth.
everybody scream that they want the truth. Just tell me. You can tell me. Everybody claim they want closure. He gave you just that.
yeah,
I ain't never had bad bitches like me before. I
I'm
don't know
hot
how-
right now.
I'm hot in these streets right now. I don't have to tell you. Sorry. You know, back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot hoes
They
all
all
on me.
me. Exactly.
You know, sorry.
And if that's what you want to do, go right ahead. And bitch, you can take them back later if it's any left. But
If it's any left,
If
like
it's-
yo,
you can lick the spoon if it's any left.
you know,
Cause this bowl finna get big.
I mean, but that's the thing. There's options. It's like some of the times the shit that I say seem real cut and dry. It seem ignorant, but it's life. And when you're
See, y'all
presented
think
a
I'm
plate,
bad.
when you're presented a plate, you have the option of eating the shit or not. I mean, throw it in the garbage can, wrap it up and save it for
one
later.
more time. You have the option of
Eating it or not.
eating the shit or not. Is what you said.
Well, yeah, but-
Because motherfuckers look at the plate, they clearly see some shit on this plate, and they be like,
Look,
well, if I put a little
here's the thing.
Tabasco on
Okay,
it.
so men are Thanksgiving plates. It ain't always gonna be yams, baby. It ain't always gonna be good, okay? You know, you get a little meat on the bone, you know, a little ham here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's chitlins on that motherfucker too.
Some people love chitlins though.
Some people love chitlins. You might have hot sauce, you might not. Them chitlins might not be as clean. But either way it go, you got options, bitch. Throw it away, wrap it up and save it for later. Let it preserve, let it go stew in its juices and do what
Marinate.
it's gonna do. And if it's still some good when you come back for it, smash. Other than that, just
throw the plate out.
and
I just
that,
wanna
and that
let
go
y'all
for men
know.
too, because some of us women ain't shit. I'm reformed.
Yeah.
I know who I used to be.
Yeah. God bless you for healing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think, and I'm outside looking in, so let's be clear. Outside looking in, I don't think Janet's healed. I personally, let me tell you something. I saw the way she played that Middle Eastern dude for that
200 milli.
200 milli. She was married to the man for 5 years, for the term of the prenup. Was if she stayed with him 5 years, had a kid by him, if she stayed with him 5 years, she was entitled to $100 for the kid and $100 for the divorce. She stayed with the man 5 years and a day. Like, I think that's a character issue.
When you look at who
My
her
my
first,
my obligation has been fulfilled. Where's my check?
everything has been under
Right.
contract with these
I wasn't
kids
even
since they
mad
was
at that
little.
shit,
Everything
man.
was under contract, and that's how Joe raised them. You contracted to do this, you contracted to do that. At the same time, what you also have to look at is the first man that was in her life, her father. Strong-handed, always made to do something she didn't want to do. Her
Mhm.
first male role model, her first love as a man, the first man she looked up to. Look at the things
Papa
she
Joe.
dealt with. Why would she feel like any other man would be capable of better? That thing that gets embedded in you. There was a point in her expose where they were talking about something and she said, "Stop, I don't want to talk about that anymore." She raised her head and said, "No matter how much work you do, things still hurt." So she's tried to get past a lot of things that she cannot. You can tell that she's a sensitive soul. She goes along to get along. She's also manipulative because she's had to
yeah.
find her way out of situations. Sometimes people use that innocence to play dumb or to make you think that they're not making moves when they are, just like she did on Dude for the 200 milli. But
She contracted herself to switch over to become a Muslim
but again,
and had a baby and named him
in
Jesus.
her life has been a contract. I hate L.
I'm thinking
But-
the baby's name is Jesus. However you say Jesus in Arabic, that's what she named the
Oh.
baby.
La Allah. So it comes down to it. Her whole
Y'all notice
life,
I'm just over here in my little box
her
letting
whole
them
life
go.
has
Evil
been a
bitch.
contract. Her whole
Oh.
life has been contracted. That is how
Jesus.
she's going to operate. You have
Man.
to look at that. Everything has been a contract. It's how she was raised, and it's how she's going to live. Period.
As a man, JD, you did your thing, homie. You got up out that jam. You put 10 years in. That was longer than that was long to put 10 years in. That's a stretch. Yeah, they was together like 10 years.
Well, you know, the Jacksons don't come out with nothing until it's 5 years in. So we might have thought it was 5 years, but it had been undercover for another 5.
That's
so.
what I'm saying. It was like 10 years he was
And
with
JD
her.
might have been under contract for them 5 years not to say anything about the relationship. So once the contract was null and void, she said, "You know what? I'm not gonna put you under another one. Come on, Jiminy Cricket, let's roll."
Yeah. Like, hey, listen, man.
I hate y'all.
He was contractual dick, so she didn't have to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And he was, for her, he was the good play because he bridged the gap between her and the younger generation, the hip hop rap community. So Janet could still be like cool on that side and still be.
It's all strategy.
It was all
But after
strategy.
she divorced, she went right back to Jermaine ass for a minute.
Hey, and JD was a vegan by that point. He was
Look,
dropping off, probably dropping
tell
dope
y'all,
dick off on her.
sometimes
Like, hey,
ugly dick be good sometimes.
gluten-free dick.
My grandma even told me that.
Wow.
My grandma told me one day, she said, my grandmother has never been a fan of light-skinned men. My grandfather was extremely dark. Albert Lee was a dark man. And my grandma used to always say, like, dealing with these light-skinned, spoiled boys and things like that.
Or
she would
pretty
always
men, as
say-
they call them
Yeah.
down
Oh,
She
south.
would
yeah.
always say, "You want you a black man that ain't never had nothing in life." She said, when boys aren't given anything, all they got to play with is their dick, and they tug on it until it be big.
What the
Boy,
So-
boy, Granny was rough. God damn.
Hey,
And what have we
Hey,
learned
Granny,
today?
my grandma
Hey,
tell you
Granny
in the
was handing
middle.
out education. Hey.
Baby, look,
Shit,
my
Granny.
grandma was my heart and soul. She was a Capricorn like me. I was the first grandchild. I had a lot of candid conversations.
You was Granny's baby.
Yes, I have a lot of candid conversations that have
Mhm.
really helped me out in life. And sometimes ugly, dark, unprivileged dick hit the spot.
Let's go ahead and collect this
Rest in
offering.
peace, Mary Alice, I miss you.
Oh, shit.
Um,
Oh,
well,
my God.
I think
Man,
they
I
gon-
can't make
I
this
think
shit
they're
up.
gonna cut my mic off after this. So
Hey,
The
listen.
hell
Stay
no.
decent.
You still ain't caught up to me talking about Janet.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Oh, my God.
I do have her coming out as lonely at the top.
Oh my god!
Man, listen, y'all get up
Oh.
off of Jermaine Dupri
Oh,
because
God, I can't.
JD dodged the bullet. He's living his best life, man. I'm sure he's still running through bad bitches, and he's happy with his lifestyle.
Low key as hell too.
Low key as hell. That's the best part about it, because you can't be
I
low key
respect-
with
You can't be
when you
low key
dating
with
the
Janet
Jackson.
Jackson.
Respect
Nah.
a motherfucker that get money and fall back. You ain't got to be in the headlines every day for no reckless shit. None of that. Get your shit and live. But go ahead, Jay.
All right. All right, man. Now that we let L get this off his chest,
Yeah.
Oh, no,
let's
that was
talk
horrible.
about the biggest fucking deflection that I've seen this goddamn week.
Let's talk about it.
You want me to read it since y'all gonna go in on it?
Yeah, go
Be my
ahead.
guess.
I feel like church right now. Can you read the scripture for us? Go ahead.
All right. Well, happy Sunday. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good.
Amen.
Amen.
So, God's about to go in on y'all, ladies. I might help them in some ways. Black men be the biggest enablers of Black women's behavior
Uh-huh.
and be mad we don't take accountability.
Keep reading.
As dads, they give us everything.
Yes.
As siblings, they coddle us from strangers, even when we're wrong.
Uh-huh.
As significant others, they take every form of abuse we give with no consequence.
Okay. Read it one more time.
Black men be the biggest enablers of Black women's behavior and be mad we don't take accountability. As dads, they give us everything. As siblings, they coddle us from strangers, even when we're wrong. As significant others, they take every form of abuse we give with no consequence.
What about you chicks that ain't had no daddies? What's y'all problem?
They bitter ass mama. So this was tweeted by Paradise Paris, and this went viral.
Mhm.
And it sparked a lot of conversations. I was just watching the comments. I didn't take part in any of them. So, you know me, I just start going and looking at statistics. You know, because first of all, it was a funny thing. Liz was watching this Kevin Samuels video where he was trying to explain to this shit. I wasn't even watching the shit. I was doing something else, but she was like, no, you got to hear this. She's like, you know, the thing is, Black women aren't getting married. And you say this woman, attractive young lady, 25 years old, he's like, they aren't getting married. And now you look at the stats, and that's the stat I went to look up. Like, interracial marriage with Black men has damn near doubled in the past 2 to 3 years, right? And they ain't marrying Becky. You said they marrying Myling and Marisol. Now, you know what I mean?
Asian and Latina.
So this is who they're marrying, and he's like, I don't care. He was like, no, you should, because ain't no other group of men rushing in to marry y'all. And if you don't want to get married, I ain't talking about you. But there are a lot of young women out here that want husbands, they want families. So now you have to do the homework to find out why. And so he asked her, well, whose job is it to fix this? Black people? He said, God damn it, Black people? Or is it Black women's job to fix this? You know what I mean? Because the thing is, you say there's no consequence. There is a consequence. Black men are now twice as more likely to get married than Black women. And that's because they're not marrying you. They're opting out. So before anybody gets mad and starts their deflection, I don't care about them niggas. Great. I'm not talking to you. Go get your cats. Go join your book club. drink your wine, die by yourself.
Do the voice
Cool.
again. I don't care about
I don't care about them niggas. Great. Not talking to you. I'm talking about my sisters, whom I love dearly, right? Who are looking for a husband to build with, break bread with,
The women
build
that are
a
willing to be
legacy.
wives,
Right. That
to be able
want
to
to be
qualify
wives.
for a husband.
Exactly. I'm talking to y'all.
Helpmates.
Not the
Team
I
players.
don't want listen, not talking to you. Go get your cat, go get your fucking little rose toy, go get your wine and die by yourself. That good for you. I'm not talking to you. What I'm saying right
tell them
now.
to die, Jay.
What
You
they
tell them
rose?
to die by themselves with their rose.
Death by road?
That's what's gonna happen. I mean, that can happen too. But I'm just saying, like, good for you.
Just
Go
go
do
vibrate yourself to death, bitch.
that's not what I said.
Hey,
You
listen,
like-
y'all over here
heard.
dying. I heard the same
That's what I
shit.
heard.
You die by yourself with die death
Nah.
by rules, bitch.
Take it how you want to. I don't really give a fuck. But what I'm saying is, like, yo, at some point, now you're
Woo.
blaming fathers for doing a father's job. It is my job to let my daughter know how she should be treated.
Come on.
It is my job to protect my sister or my daughter.
Come on.
That's my fucking job, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I always tell motherfucker, listen, I don't give a fuck if she wrong. It's two left shoes, she mine. And I'm going to see you about it. You know what I mean? So,
Because it wasn't listen, it ain't your responsibility to put your hands on them.
right. So my thing is this, right? Yo, you are trying to make somebody else accountable for you being a fucked up individual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at what point do you say, yeah, I get that. Those are my brothers. That's my dad. I know they gonna protect me. But let me not be out here doing fucked up shit that's gonna put their lives or their
And
safety
then running behind them.
in jeopardy, because there's some niggas out here, and I'm one of them, that's gonna be a problem you run down on me. It's gonna be a problem. So
It's going to be a Mexican standoff.
you gotta, I ain't even gonna be no standoff. It's going the fuck up. So
Hold it all out.
ask about me. But what I'm saying is, before you do any of that goofy shit
Mm-hmm.
that ends and your brother knocking on my door and me shoving a gun in his mouth, you know what I mean? You might want to fucking, you know what I mean? Like, rectify your shit.
Be a decent fucking human being.
Just be a decent human being, because you out, I go get my daddy, or I'll go get my brother. I'll go get, and putting them in harm's way when you know you wrong as fuck.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now, I took something a little different from that.
Okay.
Now, what I took from it was basically that we as women are churning out somewhat garbage ass men because of the things that we allow them to do. So when it said we coddle our brothers from strangers, even though they're wrong,
No,
And
she said that brothers coddle them from strangers, even though.
pull that back up.
Yeah, it was. She
and
didn't
it-
say nothing about the men. She was talking about.
It was the accountability factor
That's
for
what
Yeah,
she
she
women.
said
left
as,
out.
and how-
as siblings, they coddle us from strangers even when we wrong, even when we are wrong. So
Mhm.
she was saying we defend y'all like, yeah, I know she spit in your face, called your mama a hoe, burned up your car, and stabbed you, but you shouldn't have put your hands on her.
Okay, so I flipped that. Those two words kind of flipped for me. So I was looking at something different. But
You know,
You gotta hold your own weight. It's a saying in the streets. Like, you gotta hold your own weight. Like, if me and Jay riding in the car together, police pull us over, and it's Jay's dope and it's my guns, I'm not throwing the guns and the dope on Jay. I'm gonna hold my guns.
and
And
we
Jay
just
gonna hold his dope.
and that's just gonna be that.
That's just gonna be that. What she's saying is she not trying to hold her guns.
It's y'all fault. It's y'all fault. Like,
You
I
wanna
mean,
let me get the
literally,
car with these guns.
you're blaming your father and your brothers for something that is instinctual to them. It is in a man's nature to protect.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying because I'm protected, I'm not accountable.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? What's wrong with you? Like, oh, because this man has a natural instinct to do this.
Mm.
I don't have to be accountable for anything. And I always tell chicks, yes, there is a man out there that will do everything for you, buy you everything, and that man is your father. I'm not fucking him, right? And then even if you, and let's go to this. Oh, a man should lead and a man should take care of everything and a man should do this. I give you that, and I should have to do it. But again, once you do that, only 8% of black men are in that bracket to be able to do that for you. So now you have 100% of black women competing for 8% of black men.
Oh man.
You understand what I'm saying? That are in the bracket. Okay, because in most cities, let's just do this. A man making $60,000 a year can support you and one child. Once you have a second child, that 60 grand ain't enough. And the average black dude only earns $42,000 to $47,000 a year. We're right above Latino men in what we earn.
That 60K was a low ball. I think it take more than that for a woman.
Oh, it
and a
does.
child.
It does. But no.
It
But
actually does.
but hold on,
Yeah.
Sean. I'm just what I
Just throw
read.
one. Mhm.
I'm there. Just what I read. I know it takes more than that because I'm a nigga with 3 kids. You know what I mean? So, so that's enough to sustain you down south. Up here, they ain't gonna do shit for you. Down south, 60K will take care. But now you want another baby. And he like, baby, we can't afford another baby. And now you want another baby. So you stop taking your birth control. You pregnant. He freaking the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Because he like, hey, yo, I can't afford this. Look, and well, you need to go do better and do while you sitting and spending money getting your nails done and all this. You need to go do better shit and shit of that nature. So
Bro,
again,
went through that shit, man. Shit.
So hold on.
So
Yeah.
So
basically,
only
that,
8%
it
of
all
black
comes down to
men.
these hoes be acting up and y'all niggas be letting.
That's what she's saying. That's basically what
These
she
hoes be
said.
acting up.
And y'all nigga be letting them.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying. But my thing is, I take issue with you thinking that gives you the right to be, like, men's instinct gives you the right to be a shitty human being. I take issue with that.
Well, you can look at it from 2 different ways. I mean, it could just be a PSA to men. Like, the chicks in your lives are doing these things because
You're allowing it.
enabling it.
But I don't agree with the no consequence part because there's definitely a consequence. Like I said, black men are twice as likely these days to get married, and they're not
Well,
marrying.
So
I
watch
think that was
this.
a broad statement. I think
Yeah.
she probably wasn't thinking from the marriage standpoint. She was probably just thinking that they're going to continue to be toddlers. If
Hey, Oak, shout out to
Yeah,
Oak.
shout out to
Shout
Oak.
out to Oak.
Shout out to Oak. Toddlers gonna toddle.
yes,
Yeah.
so they're going to continue to act without accountability.
And
as long
these
as
niggas
you
is
so-
gonna
hold them
continue to
accountable.
fuck other hoes.
Watch this, Jay.
True.
I appreciate Shorty making this post, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate it because this, I can't even say this generation because this old hoes.
No,
acting
this,
like
bro, this shit
This old
is
hoes acting
we
like
we
this generation.
65 years in this shit. Like, listen, in that 65 years, intermarriage has fucking doubled between black men and white women, you know, just marrying outside their races.
So as I read the post, because I DM'd it to you. I DM'd it to a few of my friends. And I was like, yo, well, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because on one hand, Shorty is saying, basically, and I do it again. I don't give a fuck about accountability. I'm going to keep doing this.
She's doing this while looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what Shorty was saying. Like, and because I'm bad, I'm going to keep doing it and keep doing it. And I don't give a fuck if a nigga knock my head between the stove and the refrigerator dryer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knock my head between the stove and the refrigerator. I
I'm
don't give a
good on
fuck.
that.
I'm going to get up.
I'm good on that. I don't want my head between nothing but the
Hey,
wall and the bed.
Come on.
knock your motherfucking head, knock your
Man.
motherfucking head between the freezer and the wash and dry. God damn it.
I'm trying to tell
I
you.
could deal with the nightstand and the motherfucking headboard, but I ain't getting knocked between no dryers and dishwashers.
That's
and
what I'm
shit.
saying.
Y'all
Like,
better
she,
act right.
she really is with the shits. Like, I read that and I said,
She
this
definitely
little-
with the shit.
This little bitch is toxic as fuck, and she third generation toxic as fuck. Ain't none of them over there kept no man forever. And if they did, he was definitely mild man of pussy ass James.
Well, the problem is a lot of women confuse getting a man with getting a man to fuck you. It ain't the same thing. yeah, nigga, show up. You know, shit, he gon', might even hit you with some cash
Finance some shit.
and finance some shit, fuck on you and leave. But when he leave, out of sight, out of mind to the next time he come around, and then he want the box.
And
You
that's
know what I
absolutely
mean?
true. You find a lot of men, especially older men,
Mhm.
uh, they not paying you for your services. They kind of paying you to
To
leave.
go the
To
fuck
leave
away.
him the fuck alone.
And they basically feel like, hey, some of them are gentlemen when dropping dick off. They feel like they got what they wanted from you.
Now,
And they
Mr.
gonna give
James
you a
gonna
little
give you a little
something.
something.
Yeah.
They're gonna give you a little something, give you a little Nate. Little Nate.
Right.
You in a bind. Okay, well,
Shout
you
out
help
to
me out, and I'm
Mojo.
gonna help you out too.
Right.
But it's not about keeping you, ladies. When a man loves you, you'll know it.
Mhm.
But dropping a little dick off and a little change, that does not equate to a relationship.
Nope.
Or any type of emotional connection. And a lot of women need to be more like Demita Joe and understand the contract. If you came in just fucking and wasn't no dates and no kids mingling and all
Keep that
this other
same
stuff,
energy.
that's exactly
Mhm.
how it's gonna be. You can't put the cart before the horse. Things generally end the way that they start. And you got to be strong enough to deal with that. Just because halfway through the little session, you decide that you want to drop a tear or you feel like he done touched your soul and y'all shit done intertwined. No, that's just good dick. That's a nice reach, baby. Has nothing to do. That's when he get in the pussy pantry.
In the pussy.
And the
That's because he
pussy
didn't
pantry.
drop that motherfucking hammer off on you.
Scrimmaging in the back. Like, you got some more Twinkies back here?
Yeah.
All
Exactly.
right.
So that's also another big problem that a lot of women do operate off of emotion. And you let your emotions get the best of you. You got to take shit for what it is. There's a lot to be said about black and white and honoring agreements.
Mhm.
You just got to know what you're getting into, and you can't expect it to change based on how you feel. What it is what it is. And when you find out that it ain't what you want, you don't go putting your hands on men, because if they clap your ass back, you got an issue. You don't go get
How
your
can
brother.
you slap? How can you slap?
Oh my God, I just thought about that.
How can she slap me?
Yes. That shit was hilarious. But
Oh,
his reaction
man.
before he said, "How can you slap?"
But that was
Yes.
that was a fucking reflex. It's like once you hit my face, I ain't thought about your gender. I just thought about getting my lick back. Cause it like
You didn't even think about it. It was a
Man,
reflex.
That was right.
I saw
You
thunder,
know-
bitch, catch this lightning.
right, cause she's like, why don't you go and fuck off? And he was like, you go. And she was like, bow. He was like, bow.
How can you slap?
How can you slap? How can you slap?
Hey, man.
He just happened to react before he asked her the question he wanted to ask her. He tried, but do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that's just the bottom line. We all learn that shit. I don't even, do they still teach the golden rule in school? I don't know.
No, they teach you no matter what. And that was my problem in
Stupid.
school, in these schools, right?
They
No
stupid.
matter what a young lady does to you, no matter what she does, no matter how bad it is, you're not supposed to put your hands on her. I don't agree with that. I would go on record and say, like, listen, let's all keep our hands to ourselves and then use our words.
Mhm.
Because here's the thing. I punch puppies. I punch grandmamas. I punch little kids. If you hit me, I'm hitting your ass back. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen.
He led with puppies. Look, I punch puppies. So right away, he's
I
like,
don't give a fuck if you hit me. Like, hell, when we got to Vegas and my brother's dog tried to tie, I turned around and I said, hey, little nigga, I fight dogs. Listen,
I sure
Here
hope
is
the
the
dog
thing.
understood.
with me.
I punch puppies.
absolutely.
Grandmas.
Look, let me make this clear. I'm
Grandma.
not speaking for them. I'm speaking for me. Absolutely. Anybody can get it.
Rated E?
Anybody. These hands are rated E for everyone. So,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
but that's what they
because-
teach you.
and because my son has always been like real easy going, and he don't do a lot of stuff. I remember I dropped my kids off at summer camp one day, and it was only like a 4-block walk, so we would walk instead of drive. I think I got halfway back home, and they called me like, "You got to come pick them back up." Some little girl hit my son, and my daughter came out of nowhere like, "Bitch, he got a sister," and fired her ass up that fast. I was like, "2
As she
blocks."
should have.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hey, my tribe protects itself. against all threats. My son might have felt like he shouldn't hit a girl, but his mom and his sister got hands, baby.
Listen,
This is what we not finna do. But the thing is, keep your shit to yourself. All these random outbursts, they only get you fucked up in the end.
Raise your daughters.
you got to know how you
Raise your
listen,
daughters,
yeah.
man. Like,
Accountability is
Look,
key
I told my
in life.
baby, and I
It's
told
key.
her a long time ago, baby, listen, all right, you out here in the world. Now, listen, keep your hands to yourself. I know sometimes you might think that your mouth get a little slick. You might want to curb that too. But above all, keep your hands to yourself. Now, if a nigga reach
I
for
don't
you,
really give a fuck what you say. Just
come,
don't touch
come,
me.
right. If a nigga reach for you and try to put his hand, hey, holla at me. I'm on my way. But I raised you not to be the one to throw that first blow. Cause you throw that first blow, you the one started this shit. Don't do that. Do not do that. I'm still gonna handle the business, but don't put me in a position.
Other thing.
Don't put me in a position because of your bullshit. I've had to tell my female cousins, hey, listen, call me anytime if you need me. But don't put me in no bullshit.
But a lot of times, L, that's what it be, dog. Like, motherfucker done got mad and they done hauled off and slapped the nigga, and the nigga done, drug their ass across every wall in the motherfucking house. I ain't even hit him, just grab them and to let them know, like, listen, there's a strength differential here. And
Please.
sit your monkey ass down somewhere.
Please, have a seat.
And so my thing with that, I remember telling this chick, I said, if you raise your daughter that nothing she does, no matter what she does, if she hits him, kicks him, hits him with a foreign object and all that, and nothing should happen to her, keep them away from my sons. Cause I'm the type of dude that when he calls me, when you calling your daddy, we gonna meet at the same time and we gonna collide. And there's gonna be some gunfire behind that shit.
Yeah.
So I need you to understand that. So please keep your daughters away from my sons if that's what because you're not about to harm mine about self-defense. You know what I mean? Because I didn't raise my sons to come home and because, you know what I mean, the chicken cold to smack your daughter in the face. That's not who my sons are.
They're not abusive, man.
You know what I mean? They not abusive niggas. I'm not an abusive nigga, and my daddy was an abusive nigga. And they say people that grew up seeing that grew up to be abusive, and I call bullshit because I'm the antithesis to that.
No,
shit.
they're so there's a little hood parable. I'm full of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
The little hood parables, set of twins was raised with an alcoholic, abusive father, and the one twin grew up and he became a carbon copy of his father.
Mm-hmm.
The other twin grew up, very successful man, happily married, peaceful life, and somebody asked them, in separate occasions, said, well, why did you grow up to be like this? And both of them said, because I had an alcoholic, abusive father. They had the same answer, different outcome.
Choices.
Yeah.
Different.
Well, that goes back to being the sum of all your choices. Like, like Buddy could have made the same choice, like the choice I made. Like, listen, I ain't the one thing, that's crazy to me is like, it'd be funny because my wife be like, Jay, a big ass teddy bear, he harmless. To her. Absolutely. To her.
Because my pit bull loves me.
Exactly.
My pit bull does not know you.
Don't know you. Don't love you. Don't give a fuck about you.
He don't know your scent, and nigga, you moving funny.
Said, with the different outcomes, even myself as a parent, I tried to be to my children what I felt I lacked or what I needed, because I know that not having what I needed, and having what I had caused me to make decisions and end up in situations that I didn't necessarily want to be in.
A lot of dumbass decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I
made
was going
a
at it
lot of them
alone.
too.
I couldn't.
Thank you,
I
Jesus.
couldn't talk to who should have been guiding me, or I wasn't getting the example from the person I should have been watching for examples.
Right.
It's just a plethora of things. So you have to make a choice within yourself. I looked at my kid and I looked at my history and I knew that I didn't want things to go the same way. So I was going to do my part to make sure it didn't.
Indeed.
I know where my heartache lied, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't set the course for her heartache to lie in the same place. You're going to make your own choices, period. But what you're not going to say is you were alone because I wasn't there. You're not going to say that this happened because I did this or whatever else. I'm not going to set you up for failure the way I felt like I was set up.
Indeed.
And I don't have any disdain for my mother or anything like that. But what I have to understand is that she had me at the age of 15. So while I was growing, she was growing.
Yeah, y'all grew up
she
together.
was in the
shit.
thick of a lot of shit herself. When I was in my early 30s, I found myself questioning who I was and where I was. I was dealing with heartache. I was dealing with financial things that I had to do on my own. And that's exactly where she was at my age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to understand that your parents are people too, and that we
Indeed.
are going through things. You know, in hindsight, I might have thought she was mean or standoffish, but as an adult, I now understand some of the heartache that she went through that caused her to close off, or that caused her to not necessarily be mean, but not be available to me because she didn't know how to be available to herself.
Or she was still learning on the fly herself.
Absolutely.
You know?
So we have to, as people, yes, there has to be accountability within your children. You have to let them know that this is not right. If this happens, there's a consequence to it. You can't do this. You can do that. You can teach the shit out of them. They're going to do what they want to do anyway, but the ground has to be laid.
Mhm.
Even in the Bible, they say, you know, if you bring a child up in a certain way, they won't stray from the path.
When they
you
get
you
old,
know it better
yeah.
than I do.
Train up a child in the
Yeah,
way they
you
should
know,
go.
I get the quoting Bible scriptures. I sound like fucking Medea. I'm like a Job.
Said, let there be peace. And there's my peace. Right?
You know, but I mean, hey, I was raised in a funny ass church. I hurried up and got the fuck up out of there, so I only know half of the scripture. I be ad-libbing and freestyling off top of the
She said,
dome
Yeah,
on
you
the
was like
rest.
me. I was in there for a
top
hot
of the
second.
dome.
Oh yeah.
I was there long enough to sing a couple solos, then I hit the streets. So
I did a
I
few
mean,
Easter speeches and got the fuck out of there.
But
You know what's
um,
funny,
go
bro?
ahead.
I got asked the question this morning. Little bro, shout out to my little bro Maserati, man. He's like, "Hey, bro, how did you end up staying in church? Like everybody else left." I was like, "Damn, you're right. It's a lot of people, you know, in our age group was like, yeah, once they got grown, like I ain't going back to church." And because a lot of church, there was a lot of bullshit in church. I'll just be
it's church. Come on, man. Like
You-
it's.
I mean, you know, it'd be bullshit in the mosque. It'd be bullshit.
I mean, everywhere. It don't matter.
It'd be bullshit, right?
In every religious center.
So
anywhere you find people is bullshit.
Facts.
They not gonna focus on what they there for.
and like I tell people all the time, I say like you could weaponize anything. Like you know,
Uh-huh.
people weaponize the Bible, they weaponize the Quran, they weaponize dogs, they weaponize each people. You know what I'm saying? Like you can weaponize anything if you know what you're doing. Like, but back to what I was saying, he asked me how I stayed, and I said, well, it's a good question. I thought about it. The gift. I play the organ. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I started off playing the drums, and I moved up to the keys and the organ. Like the gift always kept me close enough to where I didn't leave. Now I found better places to be, right? Because you know I
more entertaining places to be.
not even more entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean like pastors with character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I played for some preachers that I've been in the pulpit with a nigga like, hey fam, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, and we've had that conversation. I've been in different places where it's like, this nigga don't got no character. I'm not fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? But
Indeed.
then I've been in places where it was all character all the time. And I'm like, yeah, this is where I need to be. And that's
Yeah.
where I was planted.
Because that's my thing. I'm not opposed to church. I
Mhm.
just grew up in one. And as soon as I was able to get the fuck out of there under
Yep.
the circumstances I was there in, I definitely left. But
Boy.
I've found other churches that have like literally fed the hell out of my soul. One of my friends, Ed, when I was living up in Lake County, very
That's how
very
you
good
knew
friend
about
of-
the Cove.
Exactly. Very good friend of mine. And shit, we've probably been friends for 15 years. He knew my kids growing up. And when we were out there, we met at the Cove. Yes, we did.
Mhm.
And then turned around and we were in this church together. We used to go to Bible studies on Wednesdays. Sundays would come and it's like, I love the Lord, don't get me wrong. I got a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And when I would be in church, literally, I wouldn't sob, but tears would just fall. And he was always there. He was cool. Pass me a little tissue, whatever, this, that, and the other. We get out of church, he'd be like, damn, what the fuck you do? Every time we get in church, you just cry. What you repenting from? We used to laugh all the time. But he was one of those people where I was able to really just take a deep breath and tell him some things. And he totally understands. And to this day, You know, he's married off. Congratulations on that. He actually married Dwayne Wade's sister. He's living a great life. He deserves all of that. But we still check on each other. And he's always like, you know, I'm proud of you because he can tell you there's things that nobody else knows. He can tell you my issue in the
Mhm.
church, you know? So it's just one of those things.
But he was
but
a man of character. Like that's
yes.
that's the thing. Like
Mhm.
this whole last segment that we talking about is character. Like the woman was saying what she was saying, and she was obviously saying again that it was all a man's fault. It's really when you read that, like
It's men's fault that I'm a shitty person when I can just stop being a shitty
when I
person
could just
whenever I
stop being a
want to.
shitty person, and that's about
That's the issue. I
And
think with
that's
that.
about your
and there's
character.
the two spins on it. It's also just a wake up call to stay out the way of these shitty women in your lives that's
Mhm.
using you to not be accountable or to further their bullshit agenda.
And we'll literally listen. I dealt with it. Will literally make you feel like they'll try to make you feel like you wrong because they doing all types of bullshit and but they looking at you like you got to fit you. If you was really my man, if you really my man, would figure out how to make this work.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, and
no,
it
bitch.
goes-
I told you
but-
don't jump off the boat and you can't swim.
You silly, but you know what? It goes both
So now you
ways.
want me to jump in the ocean with the
But
sharks too
That's true.
because I'm not much of a better swimmer than you, and I
With-
told you I can't
with
swim
the pork chop draws on.
with the pork chop draws
But
on.
it does go both ways. This was spoken from a woman's perspective, but it can also come from a man's perspective, you know, in saying that this is why men do this and do that, because we all talk about how women coddle their
Mothers.
sons and
Mhm.
raise them to be more accountable as the men in their
Well-
lives instead of a child and a boy. So it definitely it goes both ways. But
You have to make a decision
Well, it's like the song
to want
cry.
to be better yourself.
The song cry was like, how many times have you forgiven me? How was I to know
No,
that you
you
was playing sick of me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
know the way
mean?
a
And
nigga
nigga living
living
was
was
whack,
whack,
but you don't
but you
get a
ain't
nigga
gotta get back
like
like
that.
that.
Right.
You know, so it's the same. It's like, yeah, like, no, I know I was a shitty person, but you kept accepting it. How about you just stop being a shitty person to the person that you claim you care about? Okay, I get it. All right, you fucked up. They forgave you. You fucked up. They forgave you. But then I fucked up. And they keep, how many, like, listen, at some
Eventually,
point-
your girl gonna make a Lemonade album, and you gonna have to do 444 and act right.
Right,
And fuck around and get beat up in the elevator.
right.
But
All of this is happening.
Right. And you see what I'm saying? Like, but always know who you're putting your hands on, either Chris Brown or Jay-Z, because it could go either way. But what I'm saying, like,
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show.
get your ass pop locked.
I've already said, nigga said,
Right.
Is it Jay-Z or Chris Brown? Nigga,
Know who you
that's
put your
funny as
hands
When
on.
them
shit.
elevator doors open, we will know who the victor.
we will know who the victor is,
Finish him.
and it's gonna be me. But anyway, on that note, it's time to get the hell up out of here. As usual, I'm Jay Hollins.
This is Sean.
I'm the dream. God damn it, I'm the dream racer. L, man, let's go.
Hey, man, we'll catch y'all on the next Fake Decent.
It's fake decent.